Imagine a crowdfunding platform where users can buy inventory for businesses and earn a piece of their success when that inventory sells. This is Kickfurther. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how we accomplish that, but before I do, let's talk about the current generation of crowdfunding. Right now, when a product-focused business successfully completes a crowdfunding campaign, they don't just become an overnight superstar company. They can have a great product, an existing fan base, and a bunch of cash in the bank and still struggle to achieve the success that all entrepreneurs are seeking. But why is that? Well, that money in the bank needs to be used for production. And once the goods have been produced and shipped to their original backers, that pile of cash is mostly gone. So what's the best option for these companies to secure the capital to continue their growth? This is where Kickfurther comes in. On Kickfurther, inventory businesses can crowdfund inventory from their existing customer base. And it gets better because we make these offers available to the non-accredited market. And right now, non-accredited investors mostly have their money sitting in savings accounts, earning them amazing returns. That's a joke, thank you. Kickfurther is a marketplace where these people can really make their money work for them while supporting growing businesses that they believe in. So let me show you how it works. Ashley Sosa has been running her boutique clothing store, Marley Madison, out of Dallas, Texas for the last 2 years. She's been experiencing great success year over year and rapid growth, and now she's ready to expand into brick and mortar stores, but she doesn't have the cash on hand to invest into that inventory. So Ashley came to Kickfurther and she created an offer where she requested that inventory be shipped to her. Users on Kickfurther evaluated her offer alongside the other offers on the marketplace, and since they liked the profit that she was offering and they believed that the products would sell, they bought that inventory and we had it shipped to Ashley. Now, when that inventory sold, Ashley paid her backers back. And in this case, they earned 8% in 10 weeks. Now, we've developed an innovative business model that has been thoroughly vetted by bankers, lawyers, and accountants. And the reason we can do what we do is because the users of Kickfurther actually own the inventory that they're purchasing and can even earn greater profits by helping to market and sell those goods. Since we launched our beta in this January, we've already funded over 20 purchase orders with a value of $125,000 of inventory, and we've seen 5 offers complete full cycle. Business owners love the fact that they can leverage existing financing costs to gain a real sales and marketing advantage in the marketplace. And we have 6 offers live right now, and we're generating revenue every single day. There's no reason why we can't eventually serve the entire retail market, but our initial efforts are focused on the premium consumer e-commerce market, which in the US is worth over $75 billion. And Forbes estimates that the other side of the marketplace, the non-accredited investors, are worth over $2 trillion. So I've told you about the incredible things we're going to do. Let me introduce the team that's going to make it happen. My name is Sean DeClerc. I'm the CEO of Kickfurther. And prior to starting Kickfurther, I was running a merchandising business for 2 years where I have personal and painful experience with the cash flow pinch that many of these small business owners face. Andrew Westwick is a full-stack developer and our CTO, and he has years of experience interfacing with major e-commerce storefronts like Walmart and JCPenney, and he custom-built Kickfurther.com from the ground up. Eric Straub, our CMO, is a certified project manager, and he's created the sales and marketing initiatives that paved the way for our rapid growth. We are supported by an outstanding board of advisors that includes Alex Bogusky, Adweek's Creative Director of the Decade from Crispin Porter and Bogusky, Jack Donenfeld, a Martindale-Hubbell AV-rated lawyer, and last but not least, John Donovan, one of the founding members of LendIt Club. Now, the time has never been better to introduce a platform like Kickfurther. In fact, Slava Rubin, the CEO of Indiegogo, recently said at a conference similar to this one, the 80s were all about desktop computing. The 90s were about online commerce. The 2000s were about social, and this decade will go down as the decade of funding. By the end of this decade, businesses will be using this platform Not because it's cute or because it appeals to hipsters, but because it's good business. If you'd like to help smaller, average Americans grow their bank accounts and help small businesses grow, we want to talk to you. We are Kickfurther, the evolution of crowdfunding. Thank you.
I really like that you've avoided the loan structure so that you don't have any kind of SEC problem. But at the same time, so now I own the inventory, technically. And if the inventory doesn't sell out, is there a put right that I can put the inventory back to the merchant and they have an obligation to buy it from me?
Right now, no, there is no put right, but the businesses we're working with are all brands, and we buy the goods at cost. So you think most of these businesses are selling double, so double to distributors and then double again at retail, and they sell at retail price on their website. The last thing these brands want is us to possess their inventory and sell it 10% above cost of goods to make you the investor whole.
How do you track if my inventory is sold? I mean, they may get inventory from other people as well.
That's a good question. So what we do right now is we have a self-reporting system, and that's obviously not robust enough to take this to scale, but what we're developing is a Shopify API where we will draw their data real time from their e-commerce store. So we'll be able to track every single sale every day.
And I'm paid back as the inventory, as unit by unit the inventory is sold. I see the payback. Or am I paid back whole by the first unit sold all the way to retail value, and then later the merchant gets their profits?
You are paid back in monthly distributions as the inventory sells, the way it's currently structured.
How do you underwrite, and what's the interest expense? What do you charge the merchant for this?
So what's interesting about Kickfurther is that the merchants set their consignment profit. So they say, I want this inventory shipped, and I'll pay this additional amount for a consignment rate if the inventory sells in my store. So they set their own consignment profit, and we let the marketplace decide on which businesses to invest in and to fund.
So you'll put everyone on your platform. Whoever wants it, as long as it's for inventory, you'll put it on your platform.
No, so we have 25 businesses that we put on our platform. We've also disqualified 60. So we check the credibility of the businesses. They have to have done a production run previous, and they have to have been running in business and fulfilled that product. We don't do first production runs, we're not Kickstarter in that way. And we are currently building out a financial measurement system, essentially.
But unless it's standard inventory, like say flat screen TVs, which have a value in the market, it's like a dressmaker or like a flower pot maker. Like, what's the value of a bunch of flower pots? Like, how do you even sell that? When you say you're going to repossess and sell it, is this like whole lot stores, or how do you even liquidate inventory that's bespoke?
So if you have, it depends on who you're working with. If it's very much a commodity kind of product like the deodorant that we've funded, then we are buying it at 1/2 the cost of what he's selling it to a wholesaler for. So we have these purchase orders that we can see he's selling it at $2 and we're buying it at $1, so it's reasonable we can sell it for $1.10. We've seen that his business operates in this way. The more of a commodity it is, the better and the safer it is actually.
So is it all an honor system? Is there any checks and balances?
We own the inventory. It's all contractual.
You don't really own. You send me the inventory. So like what I do with it, as long as if I don't pay you, what happens?
If you don't pay me, there's a few things that happen. One, there's a reputational risk. So we encourage these businesses and we say, if you're going to engage people to fund your inventory, the best people to engage are your existing fans. They're your best brand ambassadors. So you don't want to screw over the people that are helping you build your business and are out there advocating for you. Two, you have an inventory risk where if you're selling our inventory and you're not paying us for it, it's our inventory that you're selling, we're going to come after you with our lawyers. Obviously, we don't ever want to do that, but we have a strong legal structure behind the business where we have recourse against any business that tries to defraud us.
So you've only got recourse to the inventory because it's not a loan?
Correct. It is inventory on a consignment basis, exactly.
Are you able to get how many turns these businesses have? Because I've seen businesses that turn once a week and businesses that turn once a year.
It depends on the business, and what we find is that the businesses that prefer our platform are businesses that turn over their inventory every 3 months or so. That seems to be the sweet spot that we've identified.
How do they report that to you? Is that like when I'm an investor and I'm looking at, I'm going to get $1.08 for every dollar I put in? do I see what average inventory turns are in the business I'm about to invest in?
So when you invest, there is a selling term, which is what their estimated time in order to sell through that inventory and pay you back is, and we are building out right now a timeline to make that much clearer on our platform.
How do you know the inventory's arrived? Because if somebody just said, I never received it, you've only got recourse to that inventory, which apparently never arrived.
So it's just as if, so I was running a merchandising business, and if we sent a purchase order to a factory and they said they shipped the inventory, there's a paper trail of when shipments go. So there's shippers and there's the factory, and we can trace it back and determine whether they're lying
You've
to us
got
or not.
control of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had said that the customers made 8% over 10 weeks, which sounds to me like a MCA type rate, so why not just go with a merchant cash advance provider if I can get a similar rate rather than go this route?
So what we found and what we've heard from the businesses that we're working with is that we are an advantageous rate. So the 8% that Marley Madison paid us, she was paying 17% to PayPal working capital for the same amount of money over the same period. So it was an advantageous rate for her. And what we say to our businesses as well is that each successive offer you do, as you build your credibility out on your platform, you can offer better and better or lower and lower rates of profit for the users, but you've built out your credibility, so they'll be willing to lend to you.
Thanks, everyone. I think everyone can agree that the only people that had a harder job today than these judges were the entrepreneurs who stood up here and pitched their businesses. So as an entrepreneur, I want to